Even Federer had to pull up to watch Eala. That's how phenomenal she has been over this last week and a bit. But Eala's run is done. She is out of Wimbledon. She showed fight, she showed grit, she showed determination. But today was just the beginning of something special. Big shout out to Jasmine Paolini, who's into another quarterfinal at Wimbledon. She beat Eala in 3 unbelievable sets of tennis with momentum going back and forth, and she just edged it out.
Wimbledon welcomed everyone with all the glamour and excitement of a Grand Slam, but after Alex Eala's exit, many fans felt as if the tournament had suddenly lost its heartbeat. An unexpected debate quickly spread across social media. Could one young rising star really have such a huge impact on the atmosphere of an entire Grand Slam? Or had online fans simply turned an unforgettable Wimbledon run into something even bigger than reality? Keep watching, because this story becomes far more surprising than anyone expected.
He was in here a bit ago and she was saying that she was struggling returning your serve, especially when it got slower.
Okay.
And I'm just wondering if you noticed that at all tactically, that sometimes slower serves can throw off the rhythm of an opponent, and it's something that you can use as a weapon, even if it's not a powerful weapon.
Yes, I have never really been the biggest server in comparison to a lot of the girls here. So I do my best to use my serve as an advantage. You know, I think I have a lot of other strengths.
For many spectators, Wimbledon no longer felt like just another tennis tournament. It had started to resemble one enormous Filipino celebration. Wherever Alex Eala appeared around the grounds, the entire atmosphere seemed to change, creating an energy that even experienced tennis followers found almost impossible to describe.
On tennis's biggest stage is a monumental feat for any 21-year-old player. Dude, we keep forgetting that this girl is only 21 years old. Actually, it's easy to forget because of how mature she appears to be in interviews. Also, a historic first for the Philippines. With this victory, Eala became the first Filipino player in the Open era.
Flags could be seen everywhere across the grounds. Loud cheers echoed around practice courts that normally drew only a small number of spectators. Even ordinary first-week matches suddenly carried the excitement and intensity of a Grand Slam final.
Shout out to Eva Lees for her comment here. She says, Alex Eala is exactly what tennis needs. And Eva, I couldn't agree more. Although Alex Eala's run at this year's Wimbledon came to an end today at the hands of Jasmine Paolini in the round of 16, she still has so much to be proud of and so much to look forward to. As you've probably heard by now, Alex Eala's win over the defending champion Iga Swiatek put her in the history books as the first person from the Philippines to ever make the second week of a Grand Slam.
By the time her unforgettable Wimbledon journey finally came to an end, something completely unexpected had happened. The conversation surrounding Wimbledon was no longer centered only on the players who were still fighting for the title.
Eala, I'm rooting for you. Keep the Filipino wave going. There's something about her representation that I really, really like. It just, something is very positive about seeing how many flags come out for her, how many people are tweeting and viewing her stuff on YouTube and all kind of things. I just enjoy it, you know? It's a different flavor, it's a different spice in the pot, and I like her game. She's like Eala is like a Angelique Kerber of the current that I can root for.
Instead, fans kept talking about the player who had already exited the tournament and how one young woman had somehow become one of Wimbledon's biggest attractions. That alone speaks volumes about how extraordinary Alex Eala's rise has been. Just a few years earlier, she was known as a talented junior with enormous promise. Today, she has become one of the brightest new faces in women's tennis, and her historic Wimbledon run confirmed that she truly belongs on the sport's biggest stage. Eala became the first Filipino player in history to reach the 4th round of a Grand Slam, stunning defending champion Iga Swiatek along the way before eventually losing to Jasmine Paolini in a dramatic 3-set battle. Even in defeat, she walked away from center court with something that rankings alone could never measure. She had earned the respect and admiration of tennis fans around the world while inspiring celebrations thousands of miles away in the Philippines, where massive public viewing events remained packed throughout her unforgettable campaign.
Here, and Alexandra Eala creating more history on the tennis court. She is the first player from the Philippines to reach week 2 at a major in the Open era. And Chris, I'm not gonna lie, the reaction, the buzz, the support for Eala, it's on a scale I don't think I've ever seen before.
I've never seen anything like it either. I think the amount of attention she gets, the buzz that she generates is absolutely huge. I think it's bigger than some of the top players, the number ones in the sport.
Perhaps the most fascinating part of the story was that none of this appeared to be manufactured.
Perhaps the most remarkable part of this entire story was how naturally it unfolded. There was no massive marketing campaign pushing people to support Alex Eala. Nobody had to convince Filipino fans that they were witnessing history. They recognized it from the very beginning. Every victory became another reason to wake up before sunrise, gather with family around the television, or fill sports bars and community watch parties while proudly waving the Philippine flag. Although Wimbledon was taking place in London, millions of Filipinos across the globe felt emotionally connected, as if the tournament were happening much closer to home. That incredible support soon became impossible to ignore inside the All England Club. Practice sessions that would normally attract little attention suddenly filled with spectators several rows deep. Volunteers, security personnel, and tournament staff quickly realized that whenever Alex's name appeared on the schedule, the crowds were far larger than anyone had expected.
I think being a competitive athlete, especially at this level in general, of course it comes with pressure, but everybody has pressure built into their lives at one point. And look at the everyday Filipino, my parents who have put food on the table for me and my brother and who have sacrificed so much. I can't imagine the pressure that they've been through. All the parents and everybody, providing for them.
Fans patiently stood for hours just to watch her hit routine forehands and backhands during practice, proving that the excitement surrounding her extended well beyond official match days. It wasn't simply patriotic support either. Tennis experts had spent months explaining why Eala had become one of the most exciting young players on the tour. She doesn't depend on overwhelming power or huge serves to finish points quickly. Instead, her game is built around speed, intelligence, anticipation, and relentless determination. She chases down balls that many players would simply give up on, refuses to surrender rallies that appear impossible to win, and constantly forces her opponents to play one more shot. Those qualities have established her as one of the most entertaining defensive players among tennis's new generation, while her confidence has continued growing with every major tournament she has played. That steady development became impossible to overlook throughout the 2026 season.
Victories like this, they are the start of, what could be something really, really special here. And I just think it's a great story. And I think what's interesting is she's in the right part of the draw, Joel, for it to go even further.
She is indeed. Do you see her as a genuine contender? Personally, I feel if you're the person who's dumping out the defending champion, then you have to be in with a shout for the title. And I do think the draw does help her. But Chris, what do you think? Do you think she's a genuine contender now?
After establishing herself inside the world's elite rankings.
After securing her place among the world's elite rankings, she consistently reached the later rounds of prestigious tournaments, proving that her breakthrough performances were no accident. By the time Wimbledon arrived, analysts no longer viewed her as a dangerous outsider capable of producing just one upset. Instead, she was widely considered a legitimate threat to some of the biggest names in women's tennis, and she rewarded that belief by knocking out one of the tournament's top favorites in spectacular fashion. Her victory over Swiatek completely reshaped the women's draw. Suddenly, television coverage that had been expected to focus on established champions shifted toward the smiling 21-year-old proudly representing the Philippines. International media rushed to tell the story of the young star who had become one of Wimbledon's biggest headlines almost overnight. Fans who had never seen Alex compete before suddenly wanted to learn everything about her journey, her training, and the incredible support following her wherever she played.
Eala had over this last week was something special and something that she can truly be proud of and something that she's gonna build upon. We've seen the birth of a superstar in this game, and I'm convinced of that. The way that she played, the determination she plays with, the amount of people that are behind her watching her play. She's box office, but all in all, it's a week that she can be proud of, and it's a week that she can build up on. 2026 has been a building year, and she is building so well.
One of the most admirable qualities about Eala has been the way she has handled her growing popularity. While many athletes naturally become bigger public figures as success arrives, Alex has remained grounded, carrying herself like someone who simply loves playing tennis. Fellow professionals have often spoken about the strong friendships developing among younger players on tour, explaining how those relationships help make the demanding travel schedule much easier. Eala has quietly become part of that new generation, building genuine friendships throughout the locker room without ever losing the fierce competitive spirit required once the first point begins. That balance has only increased her popularity. Fans naturally connect with athletes who remain humble and approachable even as expectations continue rising. Every autograph session, every practice appearance, and every interview strengthened the belief that Alex had stayed true to herself despite becoming one of the fastest rising stars in tennis. In an era where social media often encourages carefully managed public images, her authenticity has become one of her greatest strengths.
I think that comes down to the fact that she is from a nation where there is only one player. It is her, and she is pioneering, so I think she's getting the whole of the country excited about tennis and into tennis for the first time, probably. And I mean, what an amazing thing to see. She's such a great ambassador for the sport. And I also think the fact that she has been a Rafa baby, you know, she is from the Rafa Nadal Academy. Maybe the Spanish audience are also getting supportive of her, as well as now a global audience. But Joel, is she now even more hyped than Fonseca?
I think so, and I think she's now got the tennis to back it up.
When her Wimbledon run finally ended against Paolini.
When Alex Eala's Wimbledon journey finally came to an end against Jasmine Paolini, disappointment naturally swept across the Philippines. There were no celebrations after the final point, only immense pride mixed with the sadness that always follows the end of an unforgettable sporting journey. Even so, that defeat only emphasized how extraordinary her achievements had already been. Reuters reported that thousands of fans gathered at public viewing events across Manila to watch her fourth-round match, highlighting just how emotionally invested the country had become in her success. Interestingly, after her elimination, most conversations focused less on the final score and more on the incredible atmosphere she had created throughout the tournament. Social media was filled with fans saying that one of Wimbledon's most inspiring stories had come to an end. Broadcasters spoke about the remarkable attention her matches attracted, while commentators praised the passion of Filipino supporters who turned every appearance into something that felt like a home match despite being thousands of miles away from Manila. That emotional bond may ultimately become one of Alex Eala's greatest contributions to the sport of tennis.
First time we've seen Alex Eala defeat Iga Swiatek, the person who ironically handed her her diploma when she graduated from the Rafael Nadal Academy. I was put on to Alex Eala's potential impact on the sport when she defeated Iga Swiatek in the quarterfinals of the Miami Open in 2025 to advance to her first Masters 1000 semifinal. Ever since that moment, I have not seen a tournament in which the Filipino fans didn't show up in droves for Eala. In closing, and in reference to what Eva said in her comment,
every sport needs athletes who can bring entirely new audiences into the game, and Alex Eala appears to be doing exactly that. She has introduced countless young Filipinos to professional tennis, while reminding the sporting world that greatness can emerge from countries not traditionally linked with Grand Slam champions. Her success has helped grow the sport rather than simply adding another talented player to an already competitive field. Tournament organizers have almost certainly noticed the trend as well. Wherever Alex competes, attendance around her matches and even her practice sessions regularly surpasses expectations. Fans arrive well before she steps onto the court, remain long after the action is over, and eagerly follow every stage of her journey. That kind of lasting support is incredibly valuable because it reflects genuine passion rather than short-term curiosity. Her growing popularity also shows just how global tennis has become. For decades, discussions about future Grand Slam champions were usually limited to a handful of traditional tennis nations. Alex Eala has begun changing that narrative. Every victory she earns sends a powerful message to young athletes throughout Southeast Asia that the path from local tennis courts to Wimbledon may be much closer than anyone once believed.
Like I said, I think representation is so important, but I think representation goes beyond nationality, it goes beyond it's so multidimensional. That representation is exactly what you said. It's being able to see yourself in someone else, and I think if I'm able to do that for other people, then I'd be really happy.
Yeah, not to mention, I think we so oftentimes talk about tennis as this singular sport that you go through by yourself. And it was so clear today how much and how many you were carrying with you.
Looking ahead, her future appears even brighter than everything she has already accomplished. She has shown that she can challenge Grand Slam champions, thrive under enormous pressure, and inspire millions of people at the same time. Those qualities cannot simply be taught by coaches or developed through extra hours on the practice court. They are built through experience, resilience, and the confidence to embrace the biggest moments. As Wimbledon moves on, and another champion eventually lifts the famous trophy, Alex Eala leaves London with something just as meaningful. She arrived as one of tennis's most exciting young prospects and departed as one of its most captivating new stars. Her unforgettable Wimbledon campaign reminded the sporting world that history doesn't always begin with a championship celebration. Sometimes it starts with a young player carrying the hopes of an entire nation, filling practice courts with passionate supporters, and proving that one unforgettable fortnight has the power to change the future of a sport forever.